So in valence bond theory, our next topic is zero overlapping. See, what is zero overlapping? Zero overlapping is basically overlapping taking place, but net overlapping is zero. So basically, in zero overlapping is takes place between the orbitals, but net overlapping is zero. So basically, it results in formation of no bond. So in case of zero overlapping, there is no formation of bond between the orbitals. So we will see the cases of zero overlapping. It occurs in the following ways. The first case we are doing sp zero overlapping. See, when s orbital and p orbital approaches, so there is overlapping along the internuclear axis. As we can see that this is one lobe. So one lobe of s orbital and two lobes of p orbital interact. One lobe of s orbital and two lobes of p orbital interact, and the positive region is cancelled out by negative region. Therefore, this is a case of zero overlapping. So first type of zero overlapping, in this case there is no bond formation, because in zero overlapping between the orbitals takes place, but there is no formation of bond. See, next type of zero overlapping is sd overlapping. S orbital and d orbital will overlap. See, one of them is s orbital and one of them is d orbital. So there is overlapping takes place between these orbitals, but we can see that this is basically when the positive region overlaps, negative region also overlaps. So positive region equal in area with negative, so it will cancel out. Therefore, it is also a case of zero overlapping. In this case, one lobe of s orbital while the two lobes of d orbital interact. It means it is also one lobe, two lobe interaction. See the next type of zero overlapping. The next type of zero overlapping is p orbital and d orbital overlapping. P orbital dumbbell shape and d orbital, which may be dx square minus y square, because in dx square minus y square orbitals lie along the axis. This is x and this is y. Also in case of dz square, orbital lie along the axis. So only these two orbitals can make zero overlapping with p orbital. When these orbitals overlap, there is overlapping, but positive area is cancelled by the negative area, so it is also a case of zero overlapping. See the next type of zero overlapping. The next type of zero overlapping is pd overlapping, but in last case there is p orbital, but orbitals are dx square minus y square or dz square, while in this case the d orbitals may be dxy, dxz and dyz. So when the orbital overlapping takes place, as the positive region is equal in area of negative, so it will cancel out, hence it is also a case of zero overlapping. So four cases we have discussed for zero overlapping. One is sp, one is sd, and one is pd, and one is pd. In pd there are two types of d orbital used: dx square minus y square z square and dxy, dxz and dyz. Now according to VBT, we will discuss formation of some molecules. So according to VBT, first we are going to discuss formation of H2 molecule. See, in H2 molecule, two hydrogen atoms are joined together by sigma bond. So this is the hydrogen atom having one unpaired electron, so configuration is 1s1. Another hydrogen atom approaches with electron but opposite spin, 1s1. So two orbitals having unpaired electron with opposite spin, and this is the internuclear axis passing through the nucleus of these two atoms. So overlapping takes place, and overlapping between two orbitals is head-on overlapping. So this is the region of overlapping, and the formation of bond takes place between hydrogen and hydrogen, that is sigma bond. So basically this bond is formed between 1s orbital of this hydrogen atom and 1s orbital of this hydrogen atom. So basically sigma bond is formed between 1s and 1s orbital. See, according to VBT, formation of HF molecule. How the formation of HF molecule in VBT? Formation of hydrogen fluoride molecule. Write the configuration of hydrogen. Atomic number 1. So configuration will be 1s1. So orbital containing one unpaired electron, that is 1s. Write the configuration of fluorine. as fluorine. Atomic number is 7 and configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p5. So this is 1s2, 2s2 and this is 2p5. So in 2p5 there is one unpaired electron. So for overlapping to takes place, orbitals must have unpaired electron and having opposite spin. So here unpaired electron in 1s orbital and here unpaired electron in p orbital. As we are considering x-axis to be internuclear axis, so the unpaired electron is present in 1s and the unpaired electron is present in px. So overlapping to takes place, head-on overlapping must be there, as s orbital do only head-on overlapping. So basically overlapping takes place between these orbitals and there is head-on overlapping. Therefore in hydrogen fluoride the overlapping in between 1s and 2p and formation of sigma bond occurs. So formation of sigma bond is due to when one of the orbital participate in bonding is 1s. If one of the orbital participating in bonding is 1s, then there must be formation of sigma bond. Now we will discuss the formation of another molecule F2O2 and N2. See, why VBT? Explain the VBT formation of F2 molecule first. See, in fluorine F2 there are two fluorine atoms. So fluorine atomic number is 9, so configuration will be 1s2, 2s2, 2p5. So these two electrons in 1s2, 2s2 and 2p5. So there is one unpaired electron in 2p5, so it will overlap. Now another fluorine atom configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p5. So there is also one unpaired electron. See, so two orbitals having unpaired electron, for overlapping to takes place between them, these electron spin must be opposite to each other. See, I am considering x-axis to be internuclear axis. I am considering x-axis to be internuclear axis. See, if we are taking x-axis as an internuclear axis, so one of the p orbital of fluorine atom containing unpaired electron will approach. So orbital containing unpaired electron approach along internuclear axis. See, another orbital having unpaired electron will approach with opposite spin. So the overlapping takes place between these two orbitals, as INA is x-axis and overlapping between them is head-on. So these orbitals must overlap according to head-on overlapping, and there is formation of sigma bond between px. So this is the formation of bond between fluorine and fluorine, and the formation of bond between FF atoms is sigma bond. So this sigma bond is formed by head-on overlapping along the internuclear axis of p orbital and p orbital. See, the next case we are discussing about O2 molecule. See, in case of oxygen molecule, we see that there are two oxygen atoms and one of them is atomic number 8, another with atomic number 8. As we can see that the electronic configuration is 1s2, 2s2 and 2p4 for one atom. So for another atom it will be 1s2, 2s2 and 2p4. So write the configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2p4. As we can see that there are two unpaired electrons in one oxygen atom. Also there 1s2, 2s2, 2p4. There are also two unpaired electrons. So basically there are two unpaired electrons in 2p orbitals. See, we are considering x-axis as an internuclear axis. Suppose we are letting the unpaired electron is present in px orbital. If unpaired electron is present in px orbital, so this unpaired electron will also present in the px orbital. Now px orbital and px orbital as internuclear axis is x-axis, that is INA. So two px orbital will approach along the internuclear axis along with unpaired electron in opposite spin. So there is overlapping between them. As the overlapping is head on, therefore formation of sigma bond occurs. Now we have another orbital. with unpaired electron. So as px orbital along INA involved in the bonding. Now, as we know, the orbital px, py, pz are mutually perpendicular to each other. Means if we consider it py orbital, so py must be perpendicular to px orbital. Py orbital must be perpendicular to px orbital. So now we are considering py orbital. This is py having unpaired electron. As we know that if py has to be overlap, so this is a case of sideway overlapping. This is the case of sideway overlapping. And in sideway overlapping, the overlapping possible only when in sideway overlapping, the overlapping possible only when the orbitals must be parallel to each other. If it is py, then it must be py for the overlapping to takes place. Now these orbitals have unpaired electron and also parallel to each other. If it is py, it is also py. So the overlapping takes place between these two, and the overlapping is sideway overlapping. And through sideway overlapping, there is formation of pi bond. Head-on overlapping forms sigma bond. Head-on overlapping forms sigma bond, while the sideway overlapping forms pi bond. So basically, there is formation of first sigma bond and then pi bond. As sigma bond is formed by head-on overlapping, while the pi bond is formed by sideway overlapping. So in O2 molecule, one bond is sigma bond. It is also by pp overlapping but head-on, and another bond is pi bond. Another bond is pi bond, which is also formed between p orbitals but through sideway overlapping. See, the next molecule we are discussing about N2 molecule. See the N2 molecule. In N2 molecule, as nitrogen has atomic number 7, another nitrogen has atomic number 7. The configuration of nitrogen atom is 1s2, 2s2 and 2p3. Now write, this is 1s2, 2s2 and 2p3. So basically there are 3 unpaired electrons in 2p. Another nitrogen atom in this molecule, configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2p3. So this is 1s2, 2s2, 2p3. Another 3 electrons in and 3 unpaired electrons in 3 orbitals. So basically there are 3 orbitals containing unpaired electron. See, if we consider x-axis to be internuclear axis, and one of the orbital px undergoing overlapping with another px, so px and px overlaps, so on overlapping of px and px there is formation of sigma bond. Now, so this px and px forms sigma bond. Now another p orbital. Since px along INA involved in bonding, now these two orbitals will be perpendicular to px. So px is perpendicular to py, also pz. Now, as sigma bond already formed, now py orbital will be used. As py orbital, px, py and pz. So now py orbital has one unpaired electron, and we know that for sideway overlapping, another orbital also be parallel to each other having unpaired electron. So if it is py, then it must be py. It is also must be py for the overlapping to takes place. So this py and py will overlap, because for parallel orbital overlapping, the orbitals must be parallel to each other. This py will overlap only with py. So there is overlapping. So formation of pi bond between these orbitals takes place. So one sigma bond and one pi bond is formed. Now another orbital having unpaired electron in z. So z is also perpendicular. So this is pz. So for overlapping to takes place, there is also another orbital that must be pz, because axis must be parallel to each other. This must be pz. So this pz and this pz, both have unpaired electron. So sideway overlapping will takes place between these two orbitals, and again formation of pi bond. So there are 3 types of overlapping. One is sigma bond formation. One is sigma bond formation by px overlapping, and one is pi bond formation through py overlapping, and one is again pi bond formation through pz overlapping. So one head-on overlapping and 2 sideway overlapping. Therefore, the bond forms there are 1 sigma and 2 pi. 1 sigma and 2 pi in N2 molecule according to VBT. See next. Now we are going to discuss some questions on VBT through overlapping. The question is basically if internuclear axis is x-axis, if internuclear axis is x-axis, then predict which of the following overlapping will form which type of bond. Which of the following overlapping will form which type of bond? See, first is given S and S overlapping. As we know, S orbital and S orbital, when overlap along internuclear axis, there is formation of sigma bond. As we know that if one of the S orbital involved in the bond formation, then always there is formation of sigma bond. It is confirmed there is formation of sigma bond if one of the S orbital is involved in overlapping. See the next question. For example, we may take H2 molecules. See second example. If overlapping between S and Px, as it is given internuclear axis is x-axis. So one of the orbital is S orbital, one of the orbital is S orbital. This is x-axis INA. So Px will lie along this axis. Px will lie along this axis. So the overlapping between these two is head-on overlapping. Overlapping between these two head-on overlapping, and through head-on overlapping always there is formation of sigma bond. Always sigma bond is formed through head-on overlapping. We may take the example of HF and H2. See the next overlapping. The next overlapping is SPY overlapping. See, when S orbital, when one of the orbital is S orbital, we are taking S orbital and PY orbital. As we have seen that this is the case of zero overlapping. This is the case of zero overlapping because when they overlaps, the positive region is cancelled out by negative region because equal area. So this region is cancelled out by this area. This area is cancelled by this area. So it is a case of zero overlapping. It is a case of zero overlapping. So between S and PY there is no overlap. It is a case of zero overlapping. See next case. Next case is S and PZ. If PY we have taken this one, so PZ will be like this. So we see that there is no overlapping between these two orbitals. So there is no lobe interaction between these two orbitals. So this is also a case of S and PZ. This is also a case of zero overlapping. This is also a case of zero overlapping. So S and PY is a case of zero overlapping. Also S and PZ case of zero overlapping. Now we will see PX and PX. As we know, PX means the orbital PX along INA, as x-axis is INA. Now again PX is overlapping, so head-on overlapping takes place and formation of sigma bond. Now the next case is PY. As PX is this one, so PY will be like that. This is PY, another PY is like that. So their overlapping takes place, but sideway overlapping above the INA and below the INA. So PY will form pi bond. See the next type of overlapping is PZ. As PY is this one, so PZ will be like this. So next case is PZ. See how PZ. If PY is this one, then PZ will be like this. So one of the orbital of PZ, and this is also PZ. So their axes are parallel, so there is sideway overlapping between the orbitals. Again, due to sideway overlapping, formation of pi bond. So this type of overlapping is possible. See the next. The next is PX-PY overlapping. See, in PX and PY, PX is along x-axis and PY is perpendicular. So this area is cancelled out by this. Hence, this is a case of zero overlapping, so no bond formation. See, next is the case of PY and PZ. If PY is like this and PZ will be perpendicular to is like this, so there is no overlapping as the axes are not parallel. For pi bond to be formed, sideway overlapping, their axis of orbital must be parallel. It is not in this case, therefore there is no bond formation and no overlapping between Py and Pz. So these are the questions we have discussed about the overlappings in VBT. See, next we are going to discuss difference between sigma bond and pi bond. We are going to discuss difference between sigma bond and pi bond. See how. Difference between sigma bond and pi bond. As we know, sigma bond is basically formed by the head-on overlapping. Sigma bond is formed by head-on overlapping. So we will say axial. Axial means it is formed by head-on overlapping. While the pi bond is formed by sideway overlapping. Sideway, or we say lateral overlapping. And the orbitals which can overlap head-on are SS orbital, S and P orbital, and P and P orbital, but they must lie along the INA, internuclear axis, axial. Also, when pi bond is formed, three types of overlap we have discussed: PP and PD and DD overlap. See, in sigma bond, the electron cloud is symmetrical about INA. So the electron cloud in sigma bond is symmetrical about INA, like this. While we know electron cloud is present above and below the INA in pi bond. So formation of pi bond basically above INA, below INA. Therefore electron cloud is present above INA and below INA, and INA will be behave as a nodal plane. Since the electron cloud is symmetrical, in sigma bond, therefore sigma bond is strong. And bond energy is high. As pi bond is weak, as electron cloud is not symmetrical above the plane and below the plane, therefore due to this it has weak nature, so bond energy is near about 65 kilocalorie per mole. As bond energy in sigma bond is high, therefore it is more stable and less reactive. Why pi bond is less stable and more reactive? Sigma bond can exist independently, while pi bond is formed after formation of sigma bond. So basically we have discussed like example O2 and N2. So in both examples, first formation of sigma bond takes place. So pi bond is formed only after the formation of sigma bond. But it is not like in sigma bond. Sigma bond can be formed independently. See, hybridization of any molecule depends on the sigma bond only. While hybridization is independent of the pi bond. So hybridization do not involve pi bonds. So hybridization count depend only on sigma bond. See, next, the shape of a molecule is determined by sigma bond. While there is no role of pi bond in shape determination. As we know, when sigma bond is present, then free rotation about sigma bond is possible. We will discuss in organic chemistry. Free rotation about sigma bond is possible. So free rotation about sigma bond is possible, while there is no free rotation is possible, because if we are going to rotate, then there is chances of break of bond, pi bond. See, sigma bond electrons are considered as localized electrons. So sigma bond electrons are considered as a localized electron, while the pi bond electrons are considered as delocalized, so they can move easily, while the sigma bond electrons are localized or fixed, delocalized or not fixed. So these are the basic differences between the sigma bond and pi bonds we have discussed. Now we'll do some questions regarding calculation of sigma bond and pi bond. See, calculation of number of sigma bonds and pi bonds in the following questions. See, the first question is water molecule. We have to calculate the number of sigma bonds and pi bonds in water molecule. As we can see that in water molecule, 2 hydrogen is attached to oxygen atom, while there are 2 lone pair of electrons, so 1 and 2 lone pair electron. As we can see that this bond is sigma bond, this bond is also sigma bond. So basically there is no pi bond in water molecule. How many sigma bonds? 2 sigma bonds are present. See, in NH3. In NH3, 3 hydrogen atom, while nitrogen have 5 valence electron, therefore 1 extra electron pair. As we can see, this bond is single bond, means sigma bond. This is also sigma bond. This is also sigma bond. So how many sigma bonds are there? 3 sigma bonds are there. See, next molecule is C2CN4. See, in C2CN4 there is pi bond between carbon and carbon, and we know that in CN there is triple bond between CN and so CN, 4CN, CN, CN and CN. Now we will count. As we know, when pi bond is there, in pi bond there is 1 sigma and 1 pi, while in triple bond there is 1 sigma and 2 pi. Now count. It means if pi bond, there must be a sigma bond. If double bond, there must be a sigma bond. If triple bond, there must be a sigma bond, because pi bond is formed only after the formation of sigma bond. See, count the number of sigma bonds first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As pi bonds also contain sigma bond. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there are only 9 sigma bonds. Now we will calculate pi bonds. See, 1 sigma, 1 pi, so 1 pi. There is no pi, there is no pi, there is no pi, so there is only 1 pi. 1 pi, now 1 sigma, 2 pi, 2 pi, 2 pi, 2 pi, 2 pi. This is 8 pi and 1, 9 pi. So there are 9 sigma and 9 pi bonds in this molecule. See the next question. In next question, again we are calculating sigma and pi bond. See, we know if pi double bond is there, it is 1 sigma and 1 pi. It means 1 sigma must be there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 sigma of carbon carbon. 6 sigma of carbon carbon. See next. Carbon hydrogen, carbon hydrogen, carbon hydrogen, carbon hydrogen, also sigma. So 6 sigma of carbon carbon and 6 sigma. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6, 6, 12 sigma bonds are there. So there are 12 sigma bonds. Now we will calculate pi. 1 sigma, 1 pi, so 1 pi, 1 pi and 1 pi. How many pi bonds are there? 3 pi bonds are there. So total 12 sigma bonds and 3 pi bonds are present in this molecule. See the next molecule. The next molecule is CN twice. So carbon carbon single bond and carbon nitrogen triple, carbon nitrogen triple. We see as there is 1 sigma, 1 sigma, 1 sigma, so 3 sigma, while pi is 2 pi, 1 sigma, 2 pi in triple bond, 1 sigma, 2 pi in triple bond, so 2 pi, 2 pi, 4 pi. So there are 3 sigma and 4 pi bond. See next. In next again, we have to calculate sigma and pi. See in I3 minus. As I3, there is sigma bond, single bond between II atoms. So this is 1 sigma and this is also 1 sigma. So how many sigma bonds are there? 2 sigma bonds are there. See now. Now H2SO4. As H2SO4 structure is just 1. So count number of sigma first. As pi bond also contains sigma, so 1 sigma, 2 sigma, 3 sigma, 4 sigma, 5 sigma and 6 sigma. So how many sigma bonds are there? 6 sigma. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. 6 sigma. How many pi bonds are there? As pi bond contain, as double bond contain 1 sigma, 1 pi, so 1 pi, 1 pi. So 6 sigma and 2 pi. Now XeOF4. See in XeO4. This is the structure of XeF4. So 1 sigma, 2 sigma, 3 sigma, 4 sigma. Single bond contain only sigma. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pi bond also contains sigma. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 sigma and pi is 1. See the next example. Next example is SO3. In SO3, we see the structure as pi bond contain 1 sigma and 1 pi. So 1 sigma, 1 pi, 1 sigma, 1 pi, 1 sigma, 1 pi. It means 3 sigma bonds and 3 pi bonds are there. See the next molecule. Next molecule is XeO2F2. See the XeO2. There is also 1 sigma 1 pi. There is also 1 sigma 1 pi. 1 sigma 1 pi. So double bond contain 1 sigma 1 pi. Double bond contain 1 sigma 1 pi. There is only 1 sigma and 1 sigma. So how many sigma? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 sigma bonds are present. And pi bonds 1 and 2. So 2 pi bonds are present. See the next molecule. This next molecule is XeO3. As XeO3 molecule is just one lone pair and 3 double bonded oxygen atom. As pi bond double bond contain 1 sigma 1 pi, 1 sigma 1 pi. So 1 sigma 1 pi, 1 sigma 1 pi, 1 sigma 1 pi. So how many 3 sigma and 3 pi bonds are present. So these are the cases we have counted for sigma and pi bonds in valence bond theory.